Things are gonna get better. Things are gonna get better. Things are gonna get better. Things are gonna get better.
My name is Christian. I'm the host of Be Better. I'm here with Evan Dougoud. Evan Dougoud is, man, I'm impressed by how young you are and how active you are and doing some good stuff. And like I said before, when we first met, Dougoud is made for you, man. It's destiny for you. So Evan, for the audience, the new people that are going to be on here, checking both of us out, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yep, so my name is Evan Dougoud. The last name is Sticks. That's pretty funny.
Does that crack you up?
You said what?
Does it crack you up the more you talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's too funny. It's too funny.
Bro, you gotta brand yourself off of it.
I know, right? Do good clothing or something like.
Do good movement, do good. Yeah, dude, you gotta set it up.
That's pretty cool.
I got my merch set up.
Okay, yeah, I need a hoodie. I'm gonna need a hoodie,
bro. So I figured if I'm gonna be doing a campaign about doing good, being better, I have to do something. And the last, I did a reel on my IG. Honestly, bro, I'm 38 years old. I got no business playing this young game. But I just had it on, and some people started asking me about my white hoodie, and I was like, how can I contribute back? And I have an orphanage I support. I really help out. I try to help out as much as possible. So I sold them at cost. And I said, whatever you want to give me to send to the orphanage, completely up to you. It's $40. That includes shipping. And bro, I started getting calls and hit up by people wanting to get their hoodies. I raised about $400. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but in Mexico, $400 goes a long way.
Sure.
We were able to help a bunch of kids with the hoodie. So now I'm setting this up. Summer's coming around. I'm designing a one with a summer shirt, summer tank top. It's Cali, so basically summer all the time for the most part. But so be able to do the same thing. But I'm excited about that part. You got to do your thing, man. It's a good way to raise some money.
Yeah, we're gonna raise some money. That's cool. I'm digging the setup too. Like I'm guessing you like green, you know.
Green, yeah.
Yeah. Green. I see green everywhere.
Got my Bible, my studies. Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, so
sorry, I got sidetracked. Tell the audience about yourself.
It's all good. Like I said, my name is Evan Dougoud. I'm 25, and I run a nonprofit called BeHeard. And so what we do is we help those experiencing homelessness by, getting them showers, clothing, therapy, counseling, medical services, haircuts, whatever they need to get restored back into our community. I know out here that most of the services out here want those who are experiencing homelessness to come to them in a building, but we want to kind of flip that and, go to them. And so we have a shower trailer that has 2 showers, a therapy room, a doctor room, and a clothing room. So that all goes right to where they're at to meet the need, whether it's under a bridge or in the woods somewhere. We want to meet them where they're at and just be like a one-stop shop on wheels, And so our goal is just to, restore dignity and just add value to our community and help those in need. And so that's basically what we do in a nutshell. We just have a desire to help, and that's what we want to.
How'd you get the name BeHeard? Where'd that come from?
Right. So I used to work at Youth Services of Tulsa, which help homeless youth in Tulsa. And so I was talking to a youth, and she was like, she never feels like listened to or things like that, because people who make decisions about homelessness aren't really them. It's like people are, officials or things like that. And so, but nobody wants to listen to what's really going on. And so she just felt not heard. And I was like, wait, what if we did like a documentary telling your story and call it Be Heard? And she's like, oh, we should. And so she's actually on our episode 1 documentary. And I still talk to her to this day. And she's awesome. So that's kind of how Be Heard came about. And they just kind of stuck with it and just ran with it.
And it's working.
Yeah.
So you're doing some documentary. I think this is your generation type of stuff, which I think it's incredible because there's more eyes to see the support that's needed. What's different about what you're doing? I see some of the documentary. You're doing some cooking stuff I saw as well.
Yeah. So I know that in Tulsa, I wanted to kind of be different. Nobody out here is really doing like documentaries and things like that. But I'm really creative, so that's why we have a homeless cooking show. And so we love doing that, and we have like a long sign up list for that too. So I think that's going to be like our bread and butter. Eventually, we're going to kind of put a hold on documentaries and just keep doing these cooking shows. Because I mean, by doing them, people are smiling just like uncontrollably. They're teaching you how to cook food, teaching you all, like this is their favorite meal, and it just you can just tell that dignity is restored in that moment. And then even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's a burger or homeless gumbo, people are just so like just their voices being heard, and the people who are watching is like, oh, this is different. It's not really hearing like just a sad story. Even I was watching stuff on Netflix today. It's all kind of sad, and it is pretty sad. But I don't think by me feeling sad for somebody is really going to help their situation per se. But I want to show a new perspective, and how and just try to humanize it. Whether that's a homeless cooking show or we're taking a homeless person to putt. It's just we want to do things more to humanize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep hearing you say the word dignity.
Yeah. So dignity, for me, dignity is right now home. Like I have furniture. I come home, I feel home, but for those experiencing homelessness, most of the time dignity is not really a thing. It's just people tell you what to do. You try to get food, people like, here, this is for you. Like you don't have no choice. When choice is taken away, your dignity is pretty much taken away, And so that's why when we do outreach, we try to have options. We don't want to just say, hey, bro, here's your sandwich. Have a good day. It's like, hey, man, we got Gatorade. Which color would you want? We got orange, blue, red. And they're like, oh, I can pick, because often told, hey, you sleep here, you go here, you eat this, stop doing that. And it's just like, there's no choice, no dignity. And so we just want to, bridge that gap to restore dignity. And so I remember that I just got a lady house, and she was homeless for 10 years, and she had a bed. It took her a month to sleep on her bed. So the very first night she had an apartment, she would not sleep in her bed. One, because she said the bed was so uncomfortable. Now, I like touch the bed. It's pretty comfortable. But just because her body is so used to sleep on the sidewalk for 10 years, that's where her body got used to. And so a bed is no longer comfortable to her. And so once she, build up that confidence, sleep on that bed, then like you can tell dignity was like, oh my God, I have a bed again. And this is like, this feels good, So stuff like that, just to rebuild dignity.
You basically use that as your umbrella as far as how you're going to reach people.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit, how you can help people get their dignity, right?
Yeah.
That's so good, man. I was talking to a few people about what I'm doing. People were asking about it, and I think you're the perfect person to answer this, because they were asking me about the homeless community. And everybody goes to, they're on drugs, they're alcoholics, and they don't know whether to help. They don't know if they should be extending some money as they're driving by. What would you say to those people? Because you're in it, you're in the grind, you're seeing it for yourself. What could you say to those type of people that we listen to this?
Well, I would say people who have homes do drugs and alcohol as well. It's more visible. All this is more visible. I have family, who's done drugs, alcohol, and they're home, and they're crazy, but it's more visible. And so, but once you realize, like, hey, man, that's somebody's brother, that's somebody's sister, somebody's uncle, it kind of hits home for you. But to those people who are kind of like, I guess, judgy or kind of go with the stigma, hey, I mean, that's okay. But just as long as you still have that human interaction with them, still try to, I guess, branch out. I know people are hesitant to give money. Well, just wave or just, how are you doing? That can make a lot, make somebody's day. And
tell me about that little part. What have you seen, that little part, that wave, the smile? What's that?
Yeah. So I was talking to somebody. He's homeless. He's in a wheelchair, and he's a vet. And so people always tell him to go get a job, go get a job. Well, he served our country, right? And so it's like he fought for your freedom. Right now, you're like kind of belittling him, stuff like that. And this one time, I guess this girl, she worked at this restaurant next to him, and she waved at him, and he was like, he looked kind of like, what? Because it was so odd for somebody to wave at him. And then that girl would wave at him like almost every day, right? And so eventually the girl came over and was like, hey, how you doing? And he just like, he broke down crying. He was like, that people have been like mean to him, and because he's homeless, but they don't know he's a vet. And so it starts with a hand raise or a wave, and then boom, and you can just impact somebody's whole day. And it's even if you don't see the impact, you don't even see them smiling or see them like, I guess, crying because you waved at them. Deep down inside, like man, like somebody waved at me, and it's like, wow, so.
Tell me about your hope and mission for, I want to break it down 2 ways because I think it's an extension of you. So what's your hope and mission? And then what's BeHeard's hope and mission?
Well, man, so my hope is, I believe that everyone has a purpose, and every purpose has the potential to change the world, and that your purpose is an answer to a problem. And so when I see people on the street, I see purpose. I see people who are, I guess, quote unquote, not in the purpose, so they're not, solving the problem they're born to solve. And so when I see people die on the street, freeze to death, that means that problem they were born to solve dies with them. And so it's hard for me, because like, what if that person had the cure for cancer, but we let them die on the street? And so my hope is the individuals will just, I guess, reunite with their purpose. And I mean, ultimately in homelessness for sure, but I just want people to realize, like, hey, you have something on the inside of you that's needed in our community, no matter if you're homeless or the CEO of some business, So I just want people to realize about that purpose. Now for BeHeard, I mean, it's definitely to in homelessness for sure, but I think for this next like couple of years, we just want to strictly just restore dignity and just love, no matter what. And so I know that I don't want no more phone calls to somebody else down the street, but I mean, it's going to happen, unfortunately. So we want to minimize those phone calls these next couple of years.
What's some of the stuff you mentioned someone freezing to death? What's some of the stuff you see out there?
So this past winter, Tulsa's had the worst winter we've ever had, and I guess they said forever. So there was many people who lost their lives because of the There's many people who lost their lives because of the freezing temperatures. I mean, it was like -10 degrees, and people were outside, freeze to death, frostbite, people were crying and things like that. And so I mean, I've never seen more people worried about anything in their life than these past like 4 or 5 weeks in the freezing. And people are just like scared, like a different type of scared, like it's scared. It's like, okay, I've been through something, but I ain't been through this, and I don't think I'm gonna make it. And people were scrambling. Tulsa is very generous, so I mean, many people were buying hotel rooms for people, but at the end of the day, we lost quite a few people, and it just, man, it hurts just to see people cry out for help, and then the next day they're not even alive. And so it plays a toll on you, because you're like, man, I did all I could, but could I have done more? Those thoughts. But at the end of the day, we tried our best. We got to continue to advocate for people, for our homeless community, so this won't happen again. Yeah.
How can we help? Because I think what you're doing is amazing. I think there's a lot of people in just your community, but is there, or have you thought of a way for using what social media, internet has a lot, like for example, the orphanage I support, bro, it's about 4 hours away. In Mexico, I'm in LA. I can't just, cross the border, right? Like if I were in San Diego, it'd take me an hour. So what I try to do is I talk to the educator, set up a wish list, so the kids can get some stuff that they need. So now people, when I connect them to the orphanage, or like my goddaughter, she's like, don't give me a birthday present, or don't give me a Christmas present, send it to them. So like it made it easier through technology. Is there a way, one, locally Tulsa can help, and is there a way on a macro level that we can help?
That's a good question. I do believe in social media is very powerful. I mean, that's how we connected, you know? And so I believe that, you know, even by sharing content, you're spreading awareness. I think awareness through social media is probably the most impactful tool, in my opinion, that we have. Just because, you know, based off a share, based off a post, based off a story, somebody's perspective can be impacted, and then they can impact their coworkers. They can, you know, impact their families because of one post we posted. And so I would say, like, to get involved, it's just, hey, you know, we post a one of our posts, or we post, you know, people who are, you know, in your community doing the work, you know, one, to support them, but two, to spread awareness, you know. But I believe that in Tulsa, want to get involved, you know, we have volunteer opportunities. But people who don't want to volunteer, we have an Amazon wish list. We have, you know, you can help us with our storage units. We have different ways to people to volunteer if you don't want to, you know, go out and do the work. You know, there's always different ways you can donate. Your donations will make will help keep people alive. But I think overall, I believe education is powerful. So if we need to be more educated on this homelessness issue, because if we're not, we have no clue what it is or what's going on. So we actually have some trainings we're about to host soon through Zoom, and some homeless simulation trainings to kind of humanize it for people who don't know, who's never been homeless, like what is homelessness. So we're trying to do some sort of training through Zoom to educate our community, to hopefully create more change.
Is there a way to partner with outside of your community, with nonprofits that are supporting that community?
Yes. So we're actually working on a list to put on our website about other nonprofits in our area that do the same work. So you say what?
That all you? You're doing the website, you're doing all that?
So I have an assistant. That's why sometimes I take forever on DMs. But I just got an assistant, and then my other staff, we're all, you know, they're new, so we're all stepping up. But I was doing almost everything: the videos, the picking up donations, the storage unit, and so I was doing it, but it's not gonna last me a long time.
Yeah.
I might get burnt out, and so I'm trying to avoid being burnt out and do more stuff like this. You know, connecting with more people and just you know, telling my story.
There's a nonprofit you should look up called Hope of the Valley. It's out here in LA.
Let me go ahead and write that down. Hope of the Valley.
Yeah, they got the support from the mayor and governor. They basically went to their community, did like a committee, town hall meeting basically, and said,
Wow.
would you rather see the homeless people in tents or in small houses? And it was a pretty easy answer for people. And so what they did is they built like a 8x8 home along the freeway, and it's about the first one was just built. I believe it's about 100 little homes, where it gives them their dignity. Like they have 4 walls, they can go in through a door, they can get situated. I don't know the assistance. I'm assuming that they have some kind of career, people come in and help, or doctors, dentists, barbers, that type of thing. But at my church, we partner with that nonprofit, and they just put out that they released, the mayor went and did the ribbon cut. So they got the full support, and now that they're seeing it actually work, they're actually thinking about doing it throughout LA in different spots to give that dignity.
That's pretty awesome.
So you may want to see, just to see what they're doing. It may bring you some ideas that you can bring to Tulsa that might work.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think so. Next year we're planning to go to take our cooking show and trailer on tour. So I think I really want to go to Skid Row, check that out. Heard it's insane. So it'd be cool to head your way and give out showers too.
Yeah, bro. We're gonna have to do a visit. My wife's been. I honestly, I think what you're talking about with purpose. My tug's always been helping people and supporting people, but I have this special tug to help orphans. I don't know why.
Right. That's cool.
That's what breaks my heart when I see stuff happen.
Yeah.
For my wife, she's always supported homeless community, even when it's dangerous. I tell her, you gotta calm down with that. And she's like, if I can help, I'm gonna help. And out here, you know, they're like on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
My wife's an actress, so she'll go out and she's doing her thing for work, and then she's coming out, they're right outside the exit. So she'll go and give them like money or water or something. We try to carry stuff in our cars, but out here it gets a little hot, and you don't want to give out those plastic bottles when they're been sitting in the sun.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, dude, we have we want to help, man. However we can help you, we'll do our best. And
That's awesome.
hopefully from out here we can do something, man. I
Yeah.
really want to see you succeed, because I think what you're doing is great.
Right. That's awesome, man. That's cool. I appreciate you.
Anything else you want to say before we wrap up? Oh, hold on. Before we wrap up, I'll edit this stuff. Tell us more about the cooking stuff. I think that's like a niche that you're doing that nobody else is doing.
Yeah. So the homeless cooking show, I mean, it was just a random idea. I was at somebody's camp and they were cooking, and I was like, what if we had a homeless cooking show? And then boom, it just kind of blew up. And so I know I only posted two episodes, but I've recorded so many of them. But I believe that the homeless cooking show is just something that is unique and different. And I personally believe that it's gonna blow up. Not that I want to be famous, but just so it helps more people and more perspectives are being shifted, and more awareness is being brought out. But I just believe that the homeless cooking show, by just sitting and recording them, cooking their favorite meal, whether it's homeless gumbo, homeless burgers, or somebody made homeless chana masala. It was great. But it's just seeing them so passionate about, hey, I cooked this meal, you watched me and you tasted it, something I cooked for you. It's just a powerful show, and that I can't wait to one day we take this show across the world, and that more people will just be inspired by it, and then hopefully do more creative things for our homeless community and not just hand out meals. So like I know that we're gonna do like a putt show one day, and take somebody bowling, take a camp to the zoo. We just want to do all these crazy stuff just to humanize stuff, and we're excited. We're excited now, especially the cooking show.
When you record, what is the goal to give them their dignity, or is there some other goal besides that?
So our goal is, one, to, I guess, humanize homelessness, but also, and to spread awareness, but also just to create a new light, a new avenue for them. I know that telling stories are powerful, but by them cooking a meal, them being passionate about what they're cooking, our goal is to them just in that moment, in that 5-10 minute gap, like they just like kind of forget their situation and just like invest into, hey, I made this, you're watching me, you're staring at me, it's good, you're tasting it. And so I guess the goal is really to just one, show love through intentional time with them, and then two is just to support them and then watch them do their thing. A lot of times I'm not even talking, I don't even say questions anymore, because they just go, and so I just let them go. And so whether it's a 20-minute rant, that's fine. It's just, hey, in that moment they felt heard, they felt listened to, and hey, we're BeHeard, so that's what we want you to do.
Let's listen. My question regarding that, in Tulsa, because I don't know if it's different over here, do they have smartphones?
Yeah, government phones, so they're like quote unquote somewhat smart.
But they can have like a YouTube, like they can log on and see stuff.
Yeah.
If you're not already doing it, if I can suggest, when you're done editing, add the ingredients, because there might be people, I would say, in San Diego, LA, that can see what they're doing, and maybe it's a survival thing that they can see, or it's a new way of eating out here. Like one thing I learned out here, because it was just normal to go out and give like a sandwich or water, that type of thing. And I learned about 10 years ago, when my wife and I went out to just serve, just to help the community. They would tell us not to add jelly. And one day I finally asked why, in a peanut butter jelly sandwich. And they said, because it goes bad and we're trying to store it so it could last us, where peanut butter doesn't go bad. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Like it would never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
If I get a peanut butter and jelly, I'm gonna tear it up. And to them, they're trying to make it last as long as possible, and it didn't even cross my mind. So hearing your idea and what you're trying to do, it would be amazing if someone outside of Tulsa sees something new, like how can I survive, or how can I make something with the ingredients I have. It may put like a little event Skid Row or just survival for somebody.
Yeah, that's beautiful too, because my goal is to do a homeless cookbook one day. And so I want to write a book, but I feel like that's kind of basic right now. So I want to do a homeless cookbook. And so whether it's just you can have all these ingredients, like you said, of the different type of meals. So if you're homeless, or even if you're not homeless, I can cook this like that, you know? And so that's brilliant.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, bro. I'll give you some feedback, or not some feedback, some a heads up before I post this video. That way, if you want to promote it on your end. I have one favor to ask you. On my end, for Be Better, the hardest part I'm finding is connecting with people. I found you just going like on a hashtag and checking stuff out. If you know of anybody that deserves a spotlight, I wanna see people succeed. Stuff that you're doing.
Yeah,
So
I
I
know quite a few people for you, brother.
Yeah, shoot them my way if you can connect me. I know it's not for everybody, but I really have no self. I'm not, like I told you, I don't do well with the camera. This is all new to me.
Yeah.
But what I do want for them is for them to have the spotlight, for them to get new eyes that they may not get, and hopefully some kind of contribution, whether it's online because they're far away, or mail something through Amazon. Like somehow, if we as people get better at being better, dude, this world will look a lot better.
Awesome. That's great. I know quite a few people that I would send your way. I know a girl. She's like really good in the human trafficking world, and so yeah, it's gonna be great.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate that.
Things are gonna get better.